Hi, I'm Adetokumboh M'Cormack, and you're watching The Red Booth Show.
Hi, welcome to The Red Booth Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Q. On tonight's episode, I have actor Adetokumboh M'Cormack. You may recognize him from Lost, Battle Los Angeles, Blood Diamond, and Captain America. So come and join us. So hey Ade, how's it going?
Great, thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. So this is really cool because you have been in some wonderful movies and TV shows.
Yes.
And you've got a lot of experience as an actor, which I would love for you to share with everybody, including how did you first start getting into acting?
Well, I did my first film when I was 12, called The Great Elephant Escape, back in Kenya.
Wow.
Yes, it was with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Julian Sands, a couple other people. It was like a Disney Hallmark Entertainment film. And at that moment, I told my parents I wanted to do this for the rest of my life. And my dad was like, "Are you sure? Acting is a very challenging thing, but if this is something you want to do, then we'll support you 110%. And then, when I turned 17, when I graduated from high school, I said, okay, I want to get some conservatory training. And I applied to SUNY Purchase, Conservatory of Theatre Arts and Film, and I got in. And it was a 4-year conservatory, really intense. And I perfected my craft as an actor, as an artist, and graduated and moved to Los Angeles and started my career.
Wow, is that school in Kenya that you went to?
SUNY Purchase in New York.
It's in New York,
it's a
okay.
conservatory in New York, yeah.
Very cool. So when you were 12 and they first put you in this movie,
Yep.
How did that happen? Were you just like randomly, did someone say, hey, and find you somewhere? Or were you already like trying to do acting?
Well, I've been acting since I was 4 years old.
What?
And yes, I remember my first play, I was a bee in a play called Bees. And I actually fell off the stage.
Oh my God.
But I got back on the stage and and I was
good.
like, this is a great experience. I remember at 4 thinking, this is something that I love doing and I want to keep doing it. And then at 10 or so, my dad was telling me this story about how he took me out of the school play because my grades were suffering slightly, and it was like either you're straight A's or or you just don't do the play. And then the headmaster called my dad into the office, and Sierra Leonean parents, diplomats, are like, why are we being called into the headmaster's office? And the headmaster asked my dad. He was like, well, is there a problem at home? Problem in the family? What's going on? My dad said, absolutely nothing. What's going on? And the headmaster said, well, your son's depressed, so we are trying to figure out what's going on. And my dad said, well, we just took him out of the school play. And the headmaster said, for God's sakes, put him back in. And at that time, my dad said, okay, well, this is something that he's taking very seriously, and let's support him. I did a lot of plays. So when I did a play called Rats or something, and a Kenyan casting director had said, he told the director of Great Elephant Escape, he was like, there's this actor, and I think he's fantastic, and have him audition. I remember thinking, well, at the time I was doing Handel's Messiah with the National Choir, and I remember thinking, well, I'd rather go and do the National Choir versus going to do some audition for some film. Obviously, I had no idea how important it was.
Right.
And then they rescheduled my audition, and finally I went in and nailed my audition, and I booked the job.
Amazing. Yeah. Wow. So at 12, that's how it all started.
Yep.
And then you went and you did the school in New York.
Yes.
And then you came out here to Los Angeles.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, cool.
And so when I came out to Los Angeles, I was only supposed to be here for 6 weeks. I decided to
Famous last words.
12 years later, I'm still
No
here.
one leaves Los Angeles.
No one leaves Los Angeles. No, it was a 6-week trip, and what happened was I booked my first 4 jobs when I was out here. So my first audition was for the unit, and the Dennis Haysbert and everyone else, and so I booked that, and then my second job.
Did you have an agent already when you came out here?
My cousin Zinga Blake, who lives out here, she introduced me to my first manager.
Okay.
And literally was like, she was like, I love you, and you've got this interesting look and a weird accent, and I think you could work. And I was like, oh, sure, okay, why not? And so right after that, my first audition I booked, and then my second one was for Lost, and I ended up booking Lost.
Wow.
And then my third
That's
audition.
Crazy.
Yeah. So within a week, I was in Hawaii. And then my third audition was for, I think, General Hospital. So I did a little recurring gig on that. And then
What's the difference between being on the set with Lost and being a part of that and being in General Hospital?
Well, General Hospital was harder because you're cramming all these lines and you have literally sometimes one take.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
It's like bam, bam. They're just like pumping out the shots.
It's
right?
like this. And I remember thinking, oh, okay, I have three shots to warm up, or 3 takes to warm up. And they shot the rehearsal and print, moving on. I was like, wait a minute, I'm just getting warmed up and I don't think I got the lines correct and oh my goodness. But I mean, it basically prepared me for how difficult this industry can be, and it prepared me to be as prepared as I can be for everything. So
wow,
yeah.
That's like acting boot camp.
Intense.
Extreme.
Intense, yes.
on a big show that tons of people watch all over the country.
All over the country, all over the world, actually.
All over, yeah, that's true. Well, Lost definitely, and like that. Now that's like a whole adventure because you're actually out in this island setting.
Yes, literally in Oahu, Hawaii. And I remember thinking that's one of the best jobs I've ever had because it was kind of like a paid vacation. You go out to this amazing island with all these amazing actors, and
but some people get killed. So
and so you never. In fact,
yeah, you never know.
it's a little spoiler. It's already come out. But my first episode, I got killed, and then I ended up coming back for several more episodes. And I was like, oh, I thought it was a one-off, and then cut to a couple years later, I was still on the show.
So, not to give away the story, but was this like a flashback or coming back to life scenario?
It was a coming back to life scenario. The first scene was a flashback, and then the subsequent episodes, I was a ghost and a smoke monster and all these amazing things. And I had no idea what was going on because you read the script and you're like, well, I think I'm this, and you sort of have to make it up as you go along and hope that you're on the right track.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to take a quick break. But we will be right back with Adetokumboh M'Cormack.
I really wanted to put a deck on my house.
The floor was creaking and there were cracks in the wall.
I had them put in walls in my basement.
Well, the whole thing was done on time, on budget, and not a day of work was missed.
Alpha Structural is a top-rate company. I'd recommend them to anybody.
If you live in a hillside home and gravity is pulling you towards the edge of the cliff, I recommend you call Alpha.
It was a real pleasure to work with Alpha.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. And all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. Independence U for an independent you.
1-800-464-6830.
And welcome back to the Red Booth Show. We're here with actor Adetokumboh M'Cormack. Okay, so I knew that we were going to take a break, so I couldn't get into this, but dude, he's the smoke monster from Lost. So what is that like?
Oh, incredible. Because the whole thing about Lost, for the people who've seen it, it's I had no idea that I was going to turn into a smoke monster by, I think it was episode 5 of season 3, and I was just reading the script and I was like, oh, I turned into this and I have a confrontation with my brother, and it was a very interesting experience and a huge honor to be part of something so big and a pivotal storyline. So
yeah, I mean, this was a phenomenon, definitely. So cool that you were a part of that.
Yes. So I did a movie called Blood Diamond, and it was a personal film.
No big deal, just Blood Diamond.
Working with Leonardo DiCaprio and all those people.
Amazing movie, by the way. I love this movie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What was great about it, because I'm from Sierra Leone, and I was the only person from Sierra Leone in the movie, and having, doing a movie that was about I had family members who were killed in the war, people who I was personally
Family
affected by.
members?
Yes. We had a 10-year civil war, 250,000 people died. And so doing this film was a very, very personal thing for me and a challenge for me because I'm playing a character that was responsible for killing kids and amputating innocent civilians and whatnot. So, but
which is really what happened.
Which is really what happened. And it was and knowing and having family members who died at the hands of cousins and whatnot who died at the hands of rebels was was intense. But to go into that mindset, and
then you're trying to be that villain.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It was emotionally challenging, and it was a character that stayed with me for months after we wrapped filming because it was just so, it's something that gets in your bones.
Kind of haunting.
It's haunting. It's haunting. I would go home and just be depressed and in this dark space for a while because it was such a intense, difficult role.
Wow. That's amazing. And what was it like working with Leonardo on set?
Incredible. I mean, such a gracious, humble, wonderful actor. Very, very modest and incredibly talented. And the whole cast, and Jaimin Honsu and Jennifer Connelly, just phenomenal actors.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay, great. So there's so many we have to talk about here.
Yeah.
Now, then there's also Captain America.
Yes.
And why don't you tell us a bit about that?
So I was in Captain America Winter Soldier, which was the second film in the Captain America franchise. And it was just wonderful working with Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson. And, there was so much secrecy because we were on the ship and we couldn't tell anyone what we're doing. And the ship came from Russia, and we had to have 2 or 3 forms of ID. And all my friends were like, "What are you working on?" And you have to sign this NDA. And
yeah,
you're
you
sworn
can't
to secrecy.
say anything.
Exactly. Which I'm doing 2 projects right now as well that I can't
so
talk about
hard.
yet.
I think that's one of the worst parts
and I love
of being.
to talk. I'm always
Yeah.
so I can't. So I'm on a show that will come out next year. You all get to see it. It's huge. But I can't tell you what it is yet. So.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Exactly.
Wow, so those are some great actors as well that you worked with on that movie. And then also, you were in Battle Los Angeles.
I was in Battle Los Angeles with Aaron Eckhart and Corey Hardrick and a few other tremendous actors.
And you play a soldier.
I play a medic, or the Navy corpsman.
Okay.
And what was amazing about that whole film was it's an alien invasion, but it's a film. Imagine Black Hawk Down meets Saving Private Ryan. It was unlike
meets
aliens and you don't see the aliens, so you have to sort of imagine what the first time I saw the aliens really was in post, and I was like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be reacting to and scared of. But it was one of the best experiences of my life. We did 3 weeks of boot camp prior to filming, and we had to pitch tents and run 2.5 miles and do jumping jacks and all these crazy things.
Did they pay you extra for that? Because I would totally be like, hey,
It was part of our contract, but what it taught me was I have a great respect for our military. I think I didn't, and in fact, we didn't even do a proper boot camp. But basically what it showed me was what they do, protecting our country and going out every day and risking their lives it's amazing. And I have so much respect for them putting their lives on the line every single day.
Yeah, definitely. That's crazy because you got to actually experience somewhat of what's that.
Somewhat, right.
What that's like.
Then later on I found out it was like, I talked to someone in the Marines and they were like, that was Hollywood boot camp. The real boot camp is a lot harder.
Yeah, it's like much worse.
Exactly. But for me, it kicked my butt, so.
Nice. Free workout.
Seriously,
right?
Yeah, it was the best shape of my life, right.
Yeah, no. Well, we actually have to take another quick break, but we will be right back with actor Adetokumboh M'Cormack.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
And welcome back to the Red Booth Show. We are here with actor Adetokumboh M'Cormack. So we have gone over some of these amazing movies that you've done, and I know that you have some more projects coming out in the future. Some of them you can't talk about, but some you can.
Yes. So currently I'm directing and producing a film about a Syrian refugee who comes to Los Angeles. And it's a story that tackles the immigration crisis and tackles the whole issue of someone coming to this country to have a better life, and also the trials and tribulations one faces as an immigrant. And ultimately the story is about self-discovery and how he relates to people who judge him and whatnot, and we just attempt to tell their story in the most honest way that we can, and we start production on that in about a week. So.
Wow. Okay, so this is going to be a feature film, or is it?
It's a short film, and hopefully eventually will turn into a feature film.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We actually have had some people on my show. I've had a couple interviews with different people that are helping Syrian refugees, and it's pretty crazy out there. It's heartbreaking. So it's great that you're doing a movie to help give more notice to that.
Yes, and one of the things I started a production company called M'Cormack Venture Group, OVG Media, and what we attempt to do is give people a voice who are not really represented in the media. So, so this film is pretty much one of the first films that we're trying to, so be it Syrian refugees. We're doing another film in December that I'm going to be directing and producing and starring in. It's called DDR Driver, which is about a former child soldier who... So Blood Diamond talks about, being a kid, but we never talk about what happens to these child soldiers when they grow up. So this film attempts to, tell their story and show how they are disenfranchised and marginalized by society. But this guy, the story is about this man who ultimately is trying to forgive himself, for the atrocities he committed in the past, and seek forgiveness from the people he hurt. And it's a powerful story, and I hope to give these people a voice and just do it justice.
Yeah, Hotel Rwanda is like one of the most just terrible movie stories. I mean, it's so well done, the movie, but the fact that sort of thing actually is real.
It's real. Yes.
It's actually real.
Yeah.
And the movies kind of make things seem like distant and not part of reality. Mm-hmm. But when you're going and getting into these characters and talking about this experience, do you end up talking to actual child soldiers?
Yeah, so I spoke to about 10 different child soldiers to get their experience, and it's horrifying what they went through. And I realized how blessed I am as well. And my parents are diplomats, and I grew up in Kenya for the most part. But coming back to Sierra Leone and talking to people who were forced to rape, murder, maim at age 12, 13, at such a young age. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was that age, and now they're my age. And I had a very, very different experience. And so for me, I realized it is my responsibility to, give them a voice and do a film about them and, just attempt to tell their story.
That's fantastic. To me, honestly, that's really the reason for media and for this whole platform is to be able to tell important stories.
Exactly. My favorite quote by Bertolt Brecht is, art is not a mirror you hold up to society, it's a hammer used to shape it. And as people involved in the media and entertainment industry, we have to try and tell these stories to shape society.
Definitely.
Yeah.
More meaningful, the better, the more impact you can make. So
absolutely.
So wow. How do they, I could go on about that, actually, that real life situation of these kids. I can't believe that they would be forced into that kind of situation.
Yes.
It's all for fear of death, basically.
Of course. And what you also realize is, there's so much blame placed on these people and what they've done, but you realize they were victims just as much as the people they hurt were victims. Everybody was a victim. They had no choice. They're abducted and brainwashed and drugged and then turned into killing machines. And there's so much. You go back to Sierra Leone, and there were not a lot of programs put in place to help these people because mentally they carry the scars.
I
from
can't
the
even
war.
imagine.
Yeah, it's just talking to them was incredible. But yeah, they're trying to heal, and as a nation, I'm hoping through this film it will help with the healing.
That's wonderful. Wow, okay. Well, we have to take another break, but we will be right back with actor Adetokumboh M'Cormack.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Hi, Kathy Mitchell here with my new red copper cookware. The revolutionary pan made with non-stick ceramic and super strong copper. Guaranteed to stay scratch-free forever. It's lightweight yet super strong, so it won't scratch, peel, or chip into your food. Red copper is a baking pan with a handle that goes into the oven up to 500 degrees. And everything slides right out. Cook my healthy, crispy chicken fingers with little or no fat or oil. Chop steak and onion for a melty Philly cheesesteak. Absolutely no sticking. Or whisk eggs without a mixing bowl. Truly a time saver. Call now and receive my 10-inch red copper pan for just $19.99. Plus, get my recipe book free. Call now and you can double the offer and receive a second set. Plus, our new Forever Sharp copper knife. Just pay a separate fee. Razor sharp and food slides right off. An incredible value. Call now.
Call 1-800-488-9190 to get your special offer, Red Copper Pan. Call now or go to redcopperpan.com. So call 1-800-488-9190. Call now.
Don't give up hope. Think of the kids. It's over. I've never.
We're down by 50.
50? But we're only 2 minutes left.
Huh?
Oh, Norm.
You're going down. Down.
Oh, that does it. You're in.
Finally.
Feed the big man. A case of abuse is reported every 10 seconds. While you were watching this video, 3 cases of abuse, including sexual and physical, were reported. Visit childhelp.org to learn more. And in the meantime, please send in whatever you can.
Use your voice.
Volunteer or foster a child. Donate monthly, become a child helper.
Get involved. Take action.
Get in the game. Fight abuse. 5 children die every day.
Love and hope can change the world.
Okay, so we drowned the fire.
Yep.
Stirred it. Drowned it again. And now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
And welcome back to the Red Booth Show. I'm here with actor Adetokumboh M'Cormack. Well, this is amazing. You have been in some really wonderful movies and TV shows, and now I would love to get some advice from you for other actors who are kind of looking to get into this field, because it's not an easy thing to do.
No, it's if you can do anything else, I always say do it. Unless you're.
Why does everyone say that?
Because it's
I
true.
swear.
It's unless you're 110% sure that this is what you want to do. It is so hard, and there's ups and downs, but ultimately what I realized is I respect and I love what I do so much, and I train every single day. I work on my voice, my speech, my acting, and because I have so much respect for what I do, I try and do it to the best of my ability. So if you're not prepared to put in the work, then don't do it, because it's a great profession and you have to respect it.
So when you're practicing every day, like what sort of things do you do?
I do vocal warm-ups.
Like singing?
No, things like I'll like I figure out where is my breath, and I make sure I'm breathing from my diaphragm. Speech exercises, like pum pam pum, dom dam dum, tom tam, like the ta 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 ta, things like that, just to keep my instrument fresh and alive. And Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. And then you're doing theater as well.
I'm doing theater. I'm doing a play. We go into previews at the end of the month. It's called The Dreamer Examines His Pillow by John Patrick Shanley. And I play the part of Tommy. It stars Scotty Thompson and it's directed by Mark Blanchard. And it's a very, very difficult play. But it's a play about trying to discover who you are and defining who you are and finding faith and the reason why we live. And it's such a beautifully, I've read it now 20 times. And every time I read it, there's something else that comes up that I learn. And I realize it's such a magnificent, magnificent play. So please come see it. It's going to be the Lounge Theater.
Yeah, where is that?
The Lounge Theater is on Theater Row on Santa Monica Boulevard in Hollywood.
Very cool. And so what do you think about theater compared to being on screen, like doing movie acting to being on stage?
Well, I realize how easy we have it sometimes as film actors, because if you mess up, there's a take 2 or 3 or 5. And in theater, it's like, nope, just go with it. If something falls and roll with the punches, you gotta, you can't do a take 2. You just have to, be in the moment and just be completely aware. So
do you like that more?
It's more terrifying, but I love it. I thrive on the thrill of just, anything can happen. And also the gratification you get from people who are watching it and seeing and feeling the energy of the people in the audience.
Yeah, because you can actually hear them clapping or laughing.
And you can feel their moods change, or if they're affected by your performance, you can see them cry. It's a beautiful thing. It's instant, and it's like a relationship that the actor has with the audience. It's a beautiful thing, and I love it.
Wonderful. Going right back to your history as a bee on stage.
Yes, exactly.
Well, it's been so wonderful having you on the show. I would love for you to sort of tell everybody where they should find you and, let people know what to look out for in the future.
Yes, so you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Adetokumboh, my full first name.
Right, Adetokumboh.
Yeah, you say it perfectly.
I did.
Like a Sierra Leone. Yes, yeah, fantastic. So it's Adetokumboh. And also on Facebook, Adetokumboh M'Cormack.
Nice. Awesome. And okay, I know we still have like 1 more minute, so what would you like to say as your plans into the future for your career?
I love just telling stories and being the best actor that I can be. So every role that I take on is it's just a way to further myself as a person, as an actor, and just be the best person I can be in film, television, theater.
Wonderful. It's been such an honor having you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing your stories.
My name is Angelo Moore, and you need to be watching The Red Booth Show.